Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I'd do another camp coffee method for you today. It's one I've never actually tried before. Most people know it by the name of things like Cowboy coffee, things like that. And essentially it's one of the simplest ways you can do it. As I say, I've not tried it myself before. I've always been a bit dubious about whether or not you're going to get a lot of coffee grounds mixed in. But I thought I'd give it a go, and if it does work out, it's a really nice simple way of doing it, and it means generally I won't have to take any extra stuff with me when I go camping or bushcrafting, because I will always have my little pot which I do most of my cooking and boiling water in. I'll have my container here that holds the water, and I'll have my stove, and those really are the only three things that you need aside from some boiled water and your coffee grounds. So let me bring you a bit closer in and I'll show you how this is supposed to work. Right, so if you ignore the large gas bottle and the glass jar for my coffee, this setup is pretty much exactly what I take with me when I go away bushcrafting and camping. And so the method goes, you fill up your water pot, and that's probably just about enough for me. And then you very simply take your desired amount of coffee, and again I'm going to use just one scoop of this because I'm not a strong coffee person. And that is it. You get your grounds in there, give them a quick stir, clean that later. And if I just get this burner going, which way round? That way round. Come on, there we go. So the idea is you get your pot on the boil, nice and stable on there, and then you literally, from cold, bring it to a slow boil. I won't bore you with all of this, and we'll come back when we've got a little bit of boiling going on. So there you go guys, just come off of the boil. I'll let that sit for a minute and we'll come back to it. Right then guys, that's been sitting for a couple of minutes, and the trick here, and this is I think the difficulty, is obviously you have coffee grounds that have been sitting on the top and sort of mixing around in there, and what you don't want to do is a mouthful of coffee grounds. So some people advocate the sort of tapping the side method, just to let the grounds settle, but the one that I keep seeing more than anything else is to take some fresh cold water, pour it from a little bit of a height, not too much of it, just a little bit of a trickle that goes all over the top, and what that should do is force the coffee grounds, because the cold water will sink into the hot, and it should force the coffee grounds right down to the bottom of the cup. Now there is a little bit of scum on the side of the cup I'm going to be pouring from, so I'm just going to wipe that off. Whether I do that outdoors I don't know. And then the trick again is to pour it very, very slowly. Let me come a bit closer so you can see. And I'll be honest, I'm not seeing any grounds going in as yet. And obviously you wouldn't pour right to the bottom of your pot. But actually, do you know what? I realise you can't see very well because it's dark in there. But that looks pretty clear to me at the moment, which is definitely a good sign. Well guys, the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. And actually, do you know what? That's not a bad cup of coffee. And the reason I wanted to try this method particularly is because it allows me to make coffee out in the field without taking anything else with me. The little GSI coffee press is brilliant, and I'm still using it a lot. But you know, sometimes if I want to pack really minimal kit, all I need to do to be able to make a good cup of coffee now is throw in a plastic bag full of coffee grounds, and I'm good to go. So you know, I think that's a really nice way of making coffee. As I said before, I was always really dubious of this because I assumed, wrongly it turns out, that by putting the coffee grounds in my pot and then pouring it out, I mean, you could drink it straight from here once it's settled, no reason why not. But I always assumed that you'd get a mouthful of coffee grounds and it'd be really, really unpleasant. And glad to report that that's obviously not the case. So I hope it was useful, guys. Just sort of something for you to think about if, like me, you know, you've been taking instant coffee out, you know, on your sort of camping adventures, just because it was convenient more than anything else. You know, just to show you that you can get decent coffee while you're out in the bush. So as usual, guys, hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Cheers, guys.